Today on VOX, we have information on a burning doll and more. Ben Dudesh will have your local weather, and Knoxhampton will have your sports.
It's Thursday, January 28th, 2021, and you are watching VOX News Today.
Good afternoon and welcome back. I'm Jay Standridge.
And I'm Serena Shelton.
Singapore Zoo has now become the first to give birth to a lion cub through artificial insemination. The father of the cub, who was ironically named Mufasa after a Disney icon, was revived after the insemination process. Mufasa has had outlived all of his siblings after a long 20 years, and the zoo wanted to carry on the bloodline, but he never successfully made it. The process allowed them to carry Mufasa's bloodline and named his son Simba.
As of Wednesday, the Pentagon will now be prioritizing climate change as a national security threat. This was said shortly after President Biden made many executive orders to cut gas, oil, and other things from wind turbines offshore. Defense Secretary Lord Austin said, end quote, "The Pentagon, one of the largest fossil fuel consumers in the U.S., can be a platform for positive change, spurring the development of climate-friendly technology at scale," end quote.
Another D.C. police officer has committed suicide after attempting to stop the Capitol mobs earlier this month. 5 deaths in total are a result of the siege on January 6th, along with over 65 officers who sustained injuries. With this being the second officer to take in their own life, a congressional panel is now tasked with investigating the failures that led to the deadly events.
Back in October, all over Poland, people were upset with their constitutional courts ruling to almost completely ban abortions. Supporters of the right to abortion were outraged and have been protesting all over since. Supporters of the ban say it's for the rights of the human child. The courts have not yet responded directly to those protests about working with them not to lift the ban.
Starting today and lasting until February 19th, the 5 Point Museum will be holding a quilting exhibit. They'll be judged by piercing and quilt itself. The sections will be youth and novice quilts and COVID quilts.
Bernie Sanders went from becoming a hit meme to nearly a $20,000 crochet doll in less than a week. After the Vermont senator went viral on social media for his simpler Inauguration Day fashion choices of quirky brown mittens and oversized olive green coat, Toby King in Texas got to crocheting. She turned the sensational image that trended for days into a crochet doll.
Germany's health minister warns that the country is likely to face a shortage of coronavirus vaccines until at least April. The shortage of Germany's distribution has been criticized as they've failed to meet their target of daily vaccinations. Many countries are facing similar issues due to delays in vaccine shipments. The CEO of one vaccine distributor company has stated production was basically 2 months behind where we wanted to be. Here's Ben Dudesh with your weather report.
I'll have your weather and more right after this break.
One thing to love about the Tennessee Valley is Bradley Central Show Choir, Vocal Motion. The other thing to love is the local Geico office on Lee Highway.
You could save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. But how do you know? Unless you call 894-2600.
Got a car? Got a boat? Got a home?
Get a quote.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, let's take a look at our weather at glance. Today is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 42 and a low of 24, and gusts of winds today reaching 14 miles per hour going north, and humidity today is going to be 51%. Now let's take a look at our 7-day weather forecast. Friday is going to be partly cloudy again with a high of 47 and a low of 25. Saturday, there's more clouds building up with a high of 51 and a low of 42. Sunday, those clouds should be turning into showers with a high of 58 and a low of 35. Monday, those showers should be departing, but the clouds are sticking around with a high of 39 and a low of 29. Tuesday, some clouds should be departing with partly cloudy skies with a high of 46 and a low of 26. Wednesday, once again, partly cloudy with a high of 52 and a low of 41. Let's take a look at our local radar. There's some ice and snowstorms near the east area near Jefferson City and throughout the east area, but everywhere else is all in the clear. Now let's take a look at our national radar. There's still some showers near San Francisco and San Diego, and those storms that were near New York and everywhere near that east area is all departed, but Boston's getting hit with ice and snowstorms. And also Idaho is also getting hit with some ice and snowstorms, along with Utah and everywhere around there. Everywhere else is all in the clear. That's all for weather. Now I'll send it over to Knox with your sports.
Alrighty, sports fans, we have a lot of basketball that happened last night, and we have some exciting news about the Tennessee Volunteers, but we'll have that and more after this break.
In 1933, Ray Jackson founded Jackson Furniture in the midst of the Great Depression. We opened our doors the day the banks closed theirs. Since then, we have continued to create furniture right here in the USA. We have seen decades of American prosperity, challenge, war, and mind-blowing advancements in science and technology. We have never forgotten the way our company and country began, with perseverance, hope, and hard work. Throughout all of those decades of change, one thing remains consistent. Families love to relax together in a room filled with comfortable furniture. That is where we have been and will always be. From being huddled around a radio to being kicked back in front of a giant flat screen.
Alrighty, welcome back. How about we look at some scores? Alright, the Pacers beat the Hornets 116 to 106. The Nets defeated the Hawks 132 to 128. The Nuggets beat the Heat 109 to 82. Spurs defeated the Celtics 110 to 106. 76ers beat the Lakers 107 to 106. A very close game. Warriors beat the Timberwolves 123 to 111. Bucks defeated the Raptors 115 to 108. And the Thunder beat the Suns 102 to 97. Now let's look at college. Baylor beat Kansas State 107 to 59. Ohio State defeated Penn State 83 to 79. Wisconsin beat Maryland 61 to 55. Florida State beat Miami 81 to 59. Creighton beat Seton Hall 85-81. Virginia Tech defeated Notre Dame 62-51, and Clemson beat Louisville 54-50. The 42-year-old coach comes from an offensive background, placing Central Florida as the only team in the country to rank in the top 5 in total offensive in the last 3 seasons. Over the past 3 seasons, Heupel led his team to a 28-8 record, including an undefeated 2018. White said the job was only offered to the one coach, Heupel. Lifelong Vols fan Michael calls the former All-American quarterback at Oklahoma an offensive brain. It's a fresh start for the way from athletic director to head coach. We'll have more news after this break.
Alexa, ask Whirlpool. Hey Google, ask Whirlpool. Ask Whirlpool, ask Whirlpool.
Care can be a handful. That's why our Whirlpool Smart Range helps you care smarter with voice control.
Hey Google, ask Whirlpool to turn off the oven.
Set oven timer for 5 hours. Keep warm. Alexa, ask Whirlpool to preheat the oven to 350.
So life doesn't revolve around your range. Everyday care. Whirlpool.
State officials say a Murphy man has died after a crash that happened on Highway 64 in Cherokee County Tuesday afternoon. Master Trooper Mirko Stevens with the North Carolina State Highway Patrol says 82-year-old Harold Curry was turning onto the highway from State Route 1304 when he pulled out in front of a vehicle traveling west on the highway. Curry was airlifted to Erlanger, where he later died from his injuries. Stevens said in a statement.
A pregnant 19-year-old fell to her death while trying to scale a border fence in Texas over the weekend. Authorities say on Thursday the woman from Guatemala fell backwards from the top of an 18-foot high span of steel mesh fencing while trying to cross with the child's father. According to a statement from Guatemala's foreign ministry, Mrs. Gairon Luna, who was 30 weeks pregnant, died from her injuries on Tuesday, and doctors were not able to save the child, the statement said.
Cleveland City Schools says all students will be returning to in-person schooling starting February 1st. CSS will continue to be in their yellow phase while COVID-19 task force meets bi-weekly to monitor the situation.
It's been 1 full year since a massive dock fire claimed the lives of 8 people, including 5 kids in Scottsboro, Alabama. The NTSB says a lack of safety precautions contributed to the tragedy. The family hasn't implemented many new steps to prevent another horrible situation.
The Tennessee Highway Patrol says 2 people have died in an accident involving a motorcycle and a trailblazer in Polk County Tuesday. It happened a little after 3 p.m. at the intersection of Highway 64 and Old Federal Road. The accident report says that the trailblazer, driven by 73-year-old Charles Romuto, was pulling from a stop sign on Old Federal Road. A motorcycle driven by 28-year-old Ronnie Pennick was headed east and swerved to dodge a truck but failed. Pennick struck the trailblazer and both vehicles caught fire. We are online to YouTube at BCHS VOX News. You can check us out on Facebook and, of course, at voxnews.net.
Remind your friends and family to tune in. You just can't get enough of VOX.
That's all we have for today, Bradley Central.
And as always,
God bless and go Bears.